Brian Halcrow versus Dom Cooney. Brian Halcrow, fresh from his emphatic, incredible win against Chris Mellon last night. Against the young Dom Cooney, it's a pleasure to be joined by Luke Gilbert. And you know Dom very, very well, don't you?
Yeah, very well. Me and Dom have played together for, well, ever since my Q Sport career started, to be fair. He worked down the local snooker club that I grew up in, so I know a lot about Dom's game. Play a lot of doubles together as well, like the Pairs Cup, etc. So, yeah, I should be able to call what he's going to play correct, but we'll see.
Well, I reckon he's going to play yellow next for a start. I was out for a call.
Yeah, that's probably the correct one, I have to say. But he's got a nice open chance here, and obviously Buzzer was talking about his break. He said he was breaking really well yesterday. I think he said he had 2 breaks where he potted 4 balls, and well, he's dry in his first one, so a bit of frustration for him early on.
Yeah, that game last night between Halcrow and Mellon was ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. Chris's first break was dry. His next 2 were both in off, but the balls were just. I mean, the splits were magnificent. You know, you just.
Yeah, I didn't actually see.
If you could put them there with your hands, Luke, you'd take them all day long. You buy that break, and then on top of that, Brian's break was incredible.
Yeah,
it was 5-0 in a matter of minutes. You couldn't believe it. I mean, Chris said to me, he said, "I'm playing out my skin." He said, "I just cannot get to the table." He said, "Nothing you can do."
That's the issue with, some of the results that you see. If anyone flicks online and to check any of the scores this weekend, a lot of people would have looked at that and been amazed, but unless you actually watch the game, you don't completely get a true story about what's happened. And we was just speaking a minute ago, weren't we, with Brian, and he was saying it happened a few times last year. He had a game where he didn't play a single shot. That's against Carl O'Donoghue. The next round, Carl O'Donoghue had the same impact. He didn't have a single shot against Chris Mellon. I mentioned a game I had. I lost 7-1 and all 8 were dishes. And, it actually happens quite often on these Pro Series events. And unless you actually watch the match, you're never really sure what's happened.
Right, it's an assured start by the looks of this from Dom Cooney. Moving the cue ball around nicely. He's got to try and kill this cue ball now to take the black ball into the left-hand centre. Be wary of can have a little slide off these cushions, can't they?
Yeah, brand new as well. He is playing it. Just rolling it in, play ball. Yeah, simple 8 ball into the left centre. But I think if we're talking about Brian's performance yesterday, we're saying how perfect he played, and it's probably he'd have to say it's the best performance he's put in since Ultimate Pool started. Whereas if you watch Dom's game yesterday, it was a very scrappy affair. He's not come away thinking he's particularly played very well. He's taken a lot of power off of that.
Made a couple of balls there. 2 yellows in.
Bit unfortunate to not be on a yellow, really, because he has quite a nice little out on yellows. If he could pot one, play a different rule set, and you could play the red onto the yellow in the left centre, into the right centre, and you could go away. But I think Dom may even look to play safe here. Got to be good with the cue ball though, because he's got the yellow to the right centre or the bottom left that he could leave if he does play safe. No, he's realised it's too risky, and he's going to try and pop the long red and disturb the red and yellow near the 8 ball.
He struck that nicely. And taking the red balls. Yeah, I'd kind of agree with him. I don't think, you start playing the safety right at the start of the frame. I think you leave yourself open. It was too tough a shot to leave nothing.
I think if he was just playing to hide 1 ball, I think it's probably not a bad option, but because he only had sort of 1 place he could get the cue ball in exactly, he's under a bit of bother, really. That's a good shot. If that stops up, blocks the yellow. Buzzer can solve that problem straight away and get it out, but Dom's just giving him a chance to get back to the table. That's all he's played for there, really. I think if I was Brian here, I'd be trying to play the yellow that is safe, and I'd just run the cue ball towards the 8 ball, and if you could bump it just a touch down the rail, you're not going to play it at a speed where you're going to get the 8 ball out, but it'd be quite nice just to move it a little bit closer to the yellows. Give yourself sort of an extra hand in the frame. Don't know if he maybe tried the double there, has he?
I think that's what he's had to go at there. With the position of the yellow that's near that middle bag, I thought it would have been, if you go past that yellow, I think you hit a knuckle. But
yeah, I weren't sure if the double was on, but easier to tell when you're at the table like Buzzer was, so we won't assume it weren't. Bit of an awkward situation for Dom here. Perhaps get the red off the rail, play it towards the balls over on the right hand side. Yeah, he's just trying to bump that on the rail, just get a bit of security in the frame.
Yeah, it's a nice little outcome there. Like you say, Luke, he's developed that red. He's also knocked another red in the way of Brian's yellows over on the right hand side of the table, so nothing easy for Halcrow.
Yeah, just a delicate snooker attempt to the bottom left. So he's left sight of the reds. So Dom won't be going for a clearance of any sort yet. He'll be bumping the red to the top right corner. Doesn't want to pop the ball over the pocket, which he hasn't. He probably didn't want that red quite as safe near the rail, but you know, his main objective was to get the cue ball in a similar position to what it is and make sure that red didn't go. Buzzer should probably look to attack it, well, not attack the frame, but get those yellows out into play with that black still being an issue for Dom.
Well, he's a tricky customer to play these sort of tight tactical games against, is Brian Halcrow. I've obviously played him loads of times over the years, and this, when he first started out, this was his game, the sort of tactical side, and obviously he's had to develop a more attacking approach to adapt to the rules. But he's certainly going to be nobody's pushover.
No, you certainly know what you're getting with Buzzer. He's going to give everything 100% at all times. You can tell when, you know, sort of, if he speaks to everyone, doesn't he? But like, if you speak to him around the building, you can tell he's a lot more confident at the moment. He's just got a positive approach about when he's playing and his game. He does look more confident. Whereas I remember I played him here, might have been early last year. I think I beat him 7-1, maybe 7-2, and he just played with zero confidence whatsoever.
He's played a clever little shot there, is Halcrow. Referee now just checking to see if that is a touching ball.
If it is, you've got to say it's a little bit unlucky, because Dom can try and pop this long and screw the white back. Yeah, which it was. So Dom's got him in a snooker. And if he ever gets in a position, he can play a loss of turn to the right centre and get another good safety. So you've got to say Dom's, although the 8 balls aren't currently in favour of Brian, you'd have to say Dom's got the slight edge of where the balls are at the moment in this frame. Is it time to go for Dom? Perhaps.
Well, I don't think there's any value in waiting now. She's having a little look. You can play that, the 2 reds, they can play one off the yellow into the middle. That will open the other one up.
And it will also open up the double for the 8 ball.
Yeah, just play it firm enough to knock the yellow out of the way of the path of that double.
Almost missed that one, but goes in, leaves himself the one over the top left. Don't know whether he's looking to almost leave it so he can play the red off the yellow, so the yellow, maybe he might play at a bit of speed to try and get the yellow off the bottom cushion to hit the black. Just having a bit of a guess as to where he's pointed his cue there, but
well, that's not where he wanted to land, Luke.
Definitely not. I don't know, is he maybe still got a pot onto the top left? If not, it'll just be flicking off the red and probably leaving it by the yellow on the right hand rail. wouldn't be trying too much if he can't pot this ball. But I think he's just on it. It's not ideal, but it's maybe better than what he expected to get after landing there.
Well, he's made a good recovery. Just checking to see if that red passes yellow into the middle bag. But is there room for the double as it stands there, do you think,
I don't
Luke?
think there is. It's
Near knuckle?
yeah, maybe he has got the shot here to try and move it, but I do think it's a little bit risky. So I think he could play for the treble as well. So the double is on if you look at it from that angle. It definitely is on, but it looks like Dom's trying to move it. Yeah, so he's played it in a way where I suppose
He was never going to snooker himself there, was he?
Unless he got directly behind the 8 ball and bumped it, then he could have landed snooker.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth a try, I think.
Yeah, I think it does double past the yellow. He looked like he was trying to get a low there, so he's tried to attack it again.
Wow.
And yeah, he'll take that.
That's a fair result. He just had to put his hand up there.
The hand up from Dom, I've seen that enough times. I don't need to see it again.
No. Well, down goes the black and Dom Cooney.
Again, the double apology. Rub it in a little bit more. I had Connor snookered at 2-all. He's potted out the snooker, cleared up, then broke dished. The break dish always hurts more, doesn't it? You can just get over the pot out of the snooker and clear up if that's all that happens. But the break dish to follow it, that one's certainly a kick in the teeth.
You've seen a couple of them over last year. I remember Declan Brennan playing Ian Alley. Declan was 3-1 up and he's put Ian Alley in a horrible snooker. Ian's come out, potted the ball, cleared up, broke, finished, and then Decky's gone dry. He's finished that one, but on that finish, he snooked himself on the black, played a poor shot, come off 2 cushions and potted it out the snooker as well.
Yeah, you do see it all the time, don't you? And they're the ones that really do hurt.
I mean, I felt sorry for Declan because he's just sat there. There's nothing he can do at all, and it's a lonely old place when you're out there and everything's going against you.
Yeah.
Can't get a rub of the green anywhere.
It certainly is. Dom's going to play the yellow off the yellow, is he? I think he's got an opportunity, to be honest, to pop the ball into the left centre and run off 2 cushions and try. That's what I would.
Initially, I was looking at that until you just said.
I mean, that's why I would play, because I am horrific at playing balls off a ball. So, but Dom obviously fancies it, and he's got it.
Played a lovely shot. He's going to kiss that red perfectly. Opens up. Oh,
knocks
wow.
The ball on the rail. Yeah, couldn't have come out any better. He's got the angle where he can drift down the table as well. So he'll probably be on the ball, maybe to the left centre next. He's played it firmer, and that's a good shot to make sure he got on the one at the bottom, because it was sort of the tricky ball of the ones remaining, to be fair.
Well, he settled quite quickly as Dom, and he looks pretty good on his cue.
He's a bit short for this.
Is he going to burn though? Ambidextrous.
The Rockets outlet. Got Ronnie out in the main arena, showing off. He's played that really well.
He has played it well. I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does play left-handed. Not. We're not saying to a good level, but myself and Dom do sort of back ourselves to pot a ball and do a little bit with a cue ball with our weak hand.
You don't do what Oli Bell does and then play one-handed.
No, I'm not that silly. No. I've got to play him later, so hopefully I don't see any of them. He has played one against me before, Oli, and it was disgusting. Like,
he's incredible at that one.
It was like over a ball, and he's cut a ball down the rail. It was disgusting.
The dart shot.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, and it was like one of the first times I've ever played him. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, down goes the black, and a very assured Dom Cooney heads towards his chair when he's finished unmarking the cloth.
Normally tries to put quite a bit of power in. Opened up his stance. He's going for a lot more power here. You can see he's revving up. He's opened up his stance to try and get the cue through. Yeah, that's typical Dom, that is. I'll give him some stick for that one later, because we do talk about the break a lot.
Well, this was the first real opening now for Halcrow. And he was very, very clinical last night with any sort of opportunity like this that was presented to him. But when you're 3-0 down, The pockets start to look a little bit smaller.
Especially queuing off the rail, first shot, you know, there is a lot of pressure on him here. Just causes extension. He's got to play a decent-ish shot here to make sure the cue ball gets out or to the rail. Yeah, so he's not awkward queuing, so that's okay. Key shot for the finish here, making sure he lands on the next ball. Sort of, you know, if he gets in a good position here, you feel like he's in prime position to take out the clearance. He's going to come twice across the table. Probably play for the one into the left centre, which he's just about on, I think. Overhead, give us any
That's tight. Might just be able to creep through.
He could play the one into the bottom left pocket if he wanted to, if he wasn't on it. So, but yeah, he's just dabbling it round. It's a very good shot.
Yeah, just a little dink with a bit of left-hand side there, just to manoeuvre the cue ball around the other red, and now he's in plumb position to chalk his first frame up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just about minding your work now, really. That you don't want to be moving the cue ball too much. Yeah, I think, yeah, pop this one, screw back to a, you know, sort of similar position to you're in now. Maybe come a little bit further than you wanted. I don't know whether... I think that yellow will pass in, that red will pass into the left centre actually, so he can just stun down the right hand side of the table. And if he does land dead straight onto the ball into the left centre, then we shouldn't have any problems. That's sort of one just cute positional shot just to get it right. Looks like he's coming off the cushion. Oh, and he's had a nice little bump there because it does pass into the bottom left now. Sort of just not quite landed perfect throughout the finish so far, and it's just meant he's had to move the cue ball a touch too much. You know, if he's going away from the red here, so he may have to play a soft cannon on the 8 ball, or he might just drop past it and leave the 8 long to the top right pocket. I'm not particularly a fan for moving the 8 ball, so I'd just be running this in, just dropping it in. He's going to play it off the yellow into the centre. It's nice that he's not queuing over the yellow, so it's a shot I'll expect to make. Sort of just needs to make any contact with the left-hand side of the yellow that's sitting just above the left centre.
I played it at pace. I did think when he got down he's just going to roll it in.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, but...
And once again we see a dry break from Brian Halcrow as he sits back down in his chair.
Couple of awkward balls to land on, no matter what colour set you go here. Don't know if you was to go yellow, I'm not sure you can land great on any kind of ball, to be honest. He may be forced into reds. It's hard to tell with this camera as to whether he's just sort of going towards the left hand yellow and he's going to sit near it.
Well, the yellows are all open.
Yes, he's landed exactly. Well, I nearly called it perfect. He might not have landed on a ball, but
They might have to play a plant there with 2 yellows into that bottom left hand corner.
yeah, I think he's on the ball to the bottom right as we look. Now I play the one, yeah, and he's not tied up that yellow, so that's come out okay. He may feel he needs to, when he plays the one along the bottom rail here, if he can't bite out and beat the red, he may just cannon into the left hand side of it and push it towards the rail, but he feels he can just nip out past it.
Well, that's a bit gentle there.
Yeah, he's just trying so hard to not flick the red. I don't know whether he might have just been better just trying to play it with a touch of top left.
I wouldn't mind
hit
it
the left-hand
coming
side
out
of it.
further at the table, Luke, and just leaving the plant there with those two yellows. I mean,
Yeah,
quite near the pocket.
especially with how the plant, you could have played it at a little bit more speed, where the yellow would have then cannoned the red and then gone towards the pocket as well.
Well, he'll be disappointed there, will Dom. That was a decent opportunity to restore his 3-frame lead. Again, you feel that Brian needs to take these out. There's no way he can run and contain Dom. This is surely going to have to go.
As you say it, he's lining up at safety. I'm a little bit surprised, especially as he's left this yellow, hasn't he? I think
that is cuttable back in the corner.
Yeah, there's no control, but if you're in Dom's position, one shot ago, you're probably expecting it to be 3-2, and
but then
the way Dom's looking here, he's looking at getting a safe white, so it's obviously not cuttable from what we're looking at, but Dom's got an opportunity now to play the yellow, sit it near the red, so the red doesn't go and get a decent-ish cue ball. No, he's trying to cut it in. So actually, at the speed that Dom's hit that and how thick he's hit it, it definitely did cut. It just did Dom want to take the risk of losing the cue ball, because it could have ended up anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah, if you're going to play that full-blooded, you play that at pace, and you try and probably kick into the two reds that are beneath the yellow that's in that table. Play it with a load of left-hand side and belt it. The only danger also is the cue ball, because it could be flying, because obviously if you pot your ball, doesn't matter what you knock in of your opponent's either, you're still at the table.
So I think you'll just see Buzzer probably just pop the one to the bottom right and then
loss of turn,
screw the cue ball back 6 inches and leave Dom Snooker behind the two reds.
Yeah, just leave the cue well anywhere. He can put it right behind him, or he could go onto the bottom rail. Either or, all he's just playing is to give himself a chance, open that pocket up at the bottom, and just wants to come back to the table.
So yeah, sort of just 6 inches to the right of where the red to the bottom left is. He's looking like he's gonna get it planted to the bottom cushion as well. And you may have to see Dom try and get out of the snooker at some speed.
Yeah, Dom knows that he needs to pot basically out of his snookers. I don't think. I mean, okay, if you got lucky, you stuck the cue ball, say, behind the black ball at the top of the table, but I think you've got to go for some sort of shot at pace, like you've said, Luke, and hope to get a ball, because the reds are open.
The way he was looking was like he was, he's hit it at a little bit of speed. It's not gone too wild. Could the reds by the yellow perhaps cause a headache? They shouldn't, but you never know. Just whilst one of your object balls is around Buzzers, that it just something to think about. But I think I'd be playing this with touch of right hand side, getting on the left hand side rail now. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, and he's perfect here because he can just top this through, and then picking up your, deciding what ball you want as your last for the 8. I actually quite like the one that's over the bottom left as we speak. I know it's near the rail, but I think if you top this through 3 inches and play the one to the right centre, so if you just drop this one to the right centre now, you've got the perfect angle on the one by the yellow to drift down, and then when you're playing the ball that's over the bottom left pocket, you're sort of drifting into the line of the 8 ball, whereas if you don't land quite right on the last ball, if it was the one by the yellow, you may flick it and not land good. So Buzzer's seeing it the same way. Clever to play it off the top cushion rather than just rolling it in dead weight as well, to make sure you're on that line. You've got past the straight.
Yeah, you don't want the other angle at all. If you're running towards the yellow, that would have been an absolute nightmare. But as you can pick and choose, you can punch it in off the side rail, you can just drop it in.
definitely a shot I like to punch off the rail. Yeah, Buzzer chose to
Myself
as well.
included. I wouldn't like. I don't like rolling balls
No,
about.
yeah, I don't either.
I don't trust my own arm, and I don't trust the
Yeah.
tables half the time. But
I think I'd have liked a bit more screw on that. You know, you want to be probably a few cue balls higher than what he is at the moment.
just use the cushion to take the cue ball up there with the black.
He's got to punch this a little bit now, isn't he?
Top it with side.
Yeah, I do worry. Yeah, you see it's bananaed and sort of just hit the rail. If you hit that a touch harder there, he probably kills the cue ball and he doesn't get anywhere near where he does. But you know, you fully expect Brian to pot this 8 ball.
Wiped his feet on the way in, but
Yeah,
in
just
it
clip
has
the jaw.
gone. Halcrow's picked 2 back off him. He did have a 3-0 lead.
Much better strike from there, Dom. He moved the cue ball slightly to the left on the table, or is the right as we see it on the camera. Yeah, there's a lot of players you'll see just moving the cue ball every little bit, trying to gain a little bit of an edge of just how they feel better with connecting better with the top ball. Red's is his option. He can just top into the yellow and the 8 now. Doesn't need to go into it at speed. Was always going to have a shot on the ball to the right centre. He is on the ball to the bottom right, so I think I'd be tempted to play that now.
Yeah, I'd rather play that rather than bridge over that yellow and pop that in the middle. I don't think it's the correct way if you do go in the middle. I think get rid of these 2 at the bottom now.
Yeah, 2 at the bottom. If you can come past straight, it'd have been nice if he could have come past straight, but he's played it in a way where he couldn't ever bring the snooker into it. If he got past the straight, he could have then looked to take the one into the right centre next.
Do you play the cut and bump into the black here, or do you play the red off the yellow in and screw back? Well, that's answer that question. That's not a bad result, is it?
The 8 anyway, yeah, so he's perfect now. I think he can... If he tops, can he top the one in the middle and just come to the right-hand side of the yellow? Or maybe punch past it and come to the left-hand side?
I think you just drop it in and just play that one up the rail, I think.
Yeah, so the one to the top right is definitely what we'll be playing for. It's just whether he has to come to the left-hand side of the yellow or the right-hand side of it. Yeah, he's just pushed past it, so he's absolutely perfect.
So we know his route now.
And the only key thing about this clearance now is making sure that you leave yourself the angle on the ball to the left centre to make sure that you drift down the table.
Yeah, you want to make sure you hit the bottom rail with the cue ball.
Yeah.
Don't try and just dribble onto it just past the yellows.
Yeah.
So at least if you come down the bottom rail, even if you're a little bit short, you're still going to leave yourself a cut.
Yeah.
Time and time again, I've seen players who think I could just dribble that one into the middle, just come past those yellows, and leave yourself so that we can only see half the black ball. Always use the bigger space.
So he's going to top this in. He's actually going to leave himself. You know, a lot of people would look to get quite straight on this ball in the middle. He wants a big angle, so he plays with a touch of left as well. So you see he's got a much wider angle, so now when he is drifting down the table and he's using the bottom cushion, he's coming away from that yellow that's sitting at the bottom, just to make sure you're never going to go near that as well. And he's actually really tried to make sure that he didn't snooker himself.
He's braver than I would have been. I think I'd have just come down without the side.
I think I would have done. I suppose his way, he's just eliminating any way of ever being snookered.
Oh, it's a good shot. But the rule where the players can't come and check the pack is a good thing, because when I was playing, you'd be playing certain players were never happy whatever was racked, and you could be there 2 or 3 minutes while they said no, there's a ball not touching there. Get the ref, and the referee feels obliged. He has to come and do it all over again.
To be honest, I think if I ever was to come and check the pack, because when I'm setting the balls up, all I make sure is that the top red is touching the next 2 balls. And to be honest, I'm happy with that.
Myself included, yeah.
So if I was to come down and check them, I would just be checking. But there are people that are, sorry mate, that there's two balls on the bottom line that aren't touching.
If the front ball's just completely rolled off the front of the pack, then because you're not going to split them correctly.
Yeah,
but
so
some of it was tedious years ago. It was really bad.
Yeah. People could, as well would do it, depending on the time of the match. They'd be doing it to just frustrate the opponent as well, wouldn't they? There's a lot of people that will always try and just gain an edge somewhere.
Toilet breaks are a good one back in the day as well.
Yeah. I played a match at the World Championships a few years ago. I don't know. I think it was 2019. And we was playing at the Imperial in Blackpool at the time. My room was on the 4th floor, and I walked the whole way to go get a drink. I walked from the room all the way up to the 4th floor in the Imperial, and slowly walked my way back down. So I've gone for a toilet break. I was gone 10-15 minutes, and my opponent's just sat there, and it was a way to just clear my head a little bit, because I think I just made a mistake. And but there's people that do a lot worse than that.
Yeah, I've seen some incredible toilet breaks.
It is a little bit of a mind game. A lot of people do, don't they? I've seen it before. Someone's gone to the toilet, and then their opponent's waited for them to come back, and then they've gone as well. Try and do it back to them.
That always happens. Dom there playing loss of turn.
Be open to that. That red doesn't pass the yellow. You can see there's a small gap. I don't know whether, again, it's hard to tell whether it'd be able to just clip the jaw and use the yellow and nip it past.
Halcrow there just drifting that red into the corner.
Do you think he wanted it in? I don't know. It's just the way he played it.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, just because it was he played it so slow, and it sort of looked like he didn't want it in, but there wasn't an advantage to getting it over the pocket.
But Brian won't blast the ball unless he absolutely has to, so he does tend to play those sort of soft, rolly shots that probably you and I don't like, and I'll tell you what, Brian won't like that shot.
No, he's tried to play it off the yellow, and you can look silly when you're playing balls off a ball, because you're playing for such fine margins that if you do hit it slightly wrong, especially there, it looked like the yellow was probably touching the rail as well. So
yeah, well, Dom's played a couple of those shots in this match, and he's played them well, but he's played them at pace, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just see a snooker here from Dom. He's pulled a face there, but it's 1 to 20 that he's going to just tap behind this yellow now. Come off the rail and back behind it. Buzzer may as well be standing down this bottom end of the table already. He knows exactly what's coming. He's just gonna, the only thing Dom has got, the only thing that I suppose Brian's gonna have is when he comes off the side rail and hits the red, it is a bit of a big pocket into the left centre. So if Dom could block the right hand rail, it'd be, yes, he's played that really well. And
yeah, very good shot.
Buzzer now can only play, really, he's got two options. He can either go for the jaws of the bottom left, but you're sort of playing with fire, because if you got up the table, hit the red over the left centre, you're gonna go straight in the middle. So his only other option really is to go off the bottom cushion with screw and try and sort of arc the cue ball.
It's a tough shot, and I'll tell you what, if he doesn't hit it, it'd be absolutely brilliant for Dom Cooney. Would have ball in hand and to go up to the top of that table.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get to do it, because Brian's played a very good shot and hit that red. He's knocked it into a bad spot, though.
Bad spot for him, but you'd have to say a little bit of a awkward spot for Dom as well.
Yeah.
It's just, Dom had quite a big margin for error there, where if that red wasn't there, he could pop this ball into the bottom left, come up the table and land on the plant, and he'd had quite a good opportunity. Whereas now he's going to try and play the gap, and his worst case scenario is he'll have a free ball plant, but he'd love to get the gap here. Has he got it? He could definitely go rail first and flick the plant in, but he may just elect to play the free ball plant. If he hits it flush down the rail, the middle ball of the free is just going to pop out a little bit and come up the table, just so it's access. Wow, I actually can't believe that. I can't believe the other yellows beat it and gone behind
No, I can't.
it. That almost seems impossible.
It does. It is strange. He's going to have to play this plant now at pace and try and just bring the second yellow out.
Is there a bit of value in playing it now rather than...
Do you think you play the one at the bottom and try... Well, I don't think you can play the slow sort of plant up there and hold and get on the other one. Surely you can't play that straight into the yellow and then...
I think this is the right time to play it. Oh, he'll be delighted with that.
Oh, that's the right result. It's the hand up.
Yeah,
the dom hand.
You'll see it more often than not. It will always come out once in a match, that's for sure. I think he's going to jack up. I
thought he could have come off the two rails.
Yeah, I think you could leave this perhaps bottom. Yeah, he's in off here, I think. No, little flick. Is he on it? No. I didn't know whether he might just take his medicine and come. I don't know whether he could get twice across, or even if he just went one rail and tried to get the cue ball to the bottom right and left it into the bottom left.
He probably didn't trust a slide as well off the side rail. Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble here, just to hit this ball. To be honest, he's going to try to come off the left rail with a lot of screw on the left hand side. Banana the cue ball.
It's a great hit.
Yeah, we should have put the overhead on there, shouldn't we? We should have had a look at that. It'd have been quite a good shot to see, so we could have watched it. See the side on the cue ball. But chance for buzzer, and you expect it to be 4-3.
Pretty good. Brian just popped this red into the right hand centre now. Cue ball off the top rail and just leave himself an angle on the one over the bag to come down for the black. And that's pretty spot on. And Brian mops up after the Cooney error. He's just hanging on to his coattails at the moment, is Brian. So he pots that black, and it's now Dom Cooney leading Brian Halcrow by 4 frames to 3. Of course, it's a race of 7. We've got 14 minutes and 18 seconds left on the match clock. When we get to 10 minutes left, it will go down to 15 seconds a shot.
Oh, I'd love that yellow, that red to drop into the bottom left. Couple of skill shot options. I think Dom will look to play the yellow into the top right pocket. He can just access the centre of the cue ball, so it's just the pot that he's got to focus on. He can stun it where it is or screw back just a couple of inches, and then he can play he'll be on the balls to the bottom right. The easiest ball to get the skill shot from, I believe, is the one, as you can see, the two that sit over the bottom left, sort of the yellow to the right of them. I believe, so you can see there it definitely passes the second yellow, so that's the easiest option for the skill shot. You'll be looking to take the 2 here on the right hand side of the table and then drifting down for that next. I think he's just landed straight there, so it just made it a touch more awkward. So that shows you his pattern. He'll play the skill shot here, then he'll play the 1 again over the pocket. He's just on it. So his next ball will be the one to the right centre. He can play it off the red. He'll bring the cue ball to the left of the reds that sit in the middle of the table, and he'll play the ball that he's closest to at the moment into the bottom left as his last ball. Just got to play a good positional shot here. So he's got plenty of angle, but obviously with the red being there, he's got a little bit more room to manoeuvre. He can play this for top left. Yeah, just like that, we're going 5-3.
Lovely little shot there from Cooney with side. Like you say, Luke played it perfectly, and now, well, you can't see him missing these. And like you say, 5-3, restoring his 2-frame lead and just sharing the frames once again with Brian. But he's winning his break, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, that's the main thing. You know, he nicked one early. I think, was it maybe off Brian's break at some point early on? I think he found a 2-0 lead, and I don't think it's ever been back level since that point, has it? So, sorry, mate. Yeah, it's always one of that. Oh, straight in.
Yeah, he's beat me one tournament, I think, and he just said, "Oh, I got really lucky." I think he had about 4-8 ballers. Well, he didn't get lucky, did he? He didn't miss anything.
You just played well, Phil. All right, just let me sulk about it. I don't want to hear that you was lucky. All right.
He's very humble.
Yeah.
And like you say, he's a great guy.
So here's a bit of a question for you. We just see Brian go straight in off in the corner. You have a lot of, I think, tough critics that say that's a mistake to go straight in off in the corner. Now I'm one that if you go straight in off in the middle, that is a bad error.
Yeah, because you've got to put a little bit of control into the keyboard, bring it away from the centre pockets.
Whereas, you know, a lot of people think that going in off in the corner is like a bad error. I think it's a little bit unlucky personally. Just because I think if you give all the top players on this, say for example just this Pro Series, and we won't even go into the top players on the Challenger Series because there's a lot of good players. If you give each of them 10 breaks and said to them try and go in off in the middle, they'd probably go in off at least 8 of those because it's just quite easy to do. Whereas if you said to them try and go in off in the corner, I don't think they'd do it very often.
Well, to be fair, when you're playing with that much power, especially because you're hitting the front ball with this break, you're trying to generate as much power as you can. I used to pull back a long way and then try and throw weight into the break. Well, then your arm's not going to be dead straight on the keyboard. You're trying to hit it as clean as you can.
Yeah.
But you are going to run the risk. And not only that, we've seen a lot of breaks earlier today where the cue ball's going back towards then balls will shunt it away sometimes.
Yeah.
But then we were pulling in there anyway, or the reverse happens and the balls just keep cannon into the cue ball, knock it in the corner. I'm with you. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I
in off in the centre is a poor control.
It's a poor error, yeah. And there'll be no pool player that doesn't get frustrated when it happens, and we all accept that is a bad error. But in off in the corner, I think you're a little bit unlucky. You haven't hit it as flush as you're trying to. So I'm not saying like there's no skill involved at all. But to going off in the corner, I don't think it's as bad a mistake as some people make out.
Well, he's showing some nice little touches, is Dom Cooney, and he's carved himself open a nice little chance here to go 6-3. Down she goes.
That'll be my little advice to him after this match. Just ever so slightly pull that cue ball just a touch further back. You see there, he's reached for that.
What you say about the middle bags and breaks?
Totally, yeah, he knows that one was bad, and he'll be thinking there that I'll be giving him some stick for that. But I think with the way the cushion is on these tables, because they're flat rather than on a normal Supreme table where you've got a bit of a curve, it just makes the cushion that little bit smaller. And they're a little bit bigger on here, so your bridge hand is ever so slightly different. So I think everyone needs to bring the cue ball just a touch further back than what you normally would on your normal Supreme winners that majority of people have in their club or at home. I think you just time it that touch better. So I'll have a little word with Dom. Help him out where I can. He tries to help me, so it's only fair sometimes if you notice something.
Unless you're playing each other.
Yeah, then I tell him the complete opposite, yeah.
Have you played each other much in tournament play?
We played a lot.
Probably locally, but I mean in the pro.
We played one match on the Pro Series. Dom won 7-6 and I actually putted the black mid-frame in the decider. So that was a little bit sick, to be fair. But we've played a lot locally over a lot of years, but a lot of those games were when I was really learning the game. So Dom's record is unbelievable against me, to be fair. And we've had a lot of matches over the years where Dom, and he's admitted it, he's probably tried harder against me than he has in other matches, just because, with the two young lads from our way, and everyone always gets the discussions of, oh, who's better out of you two.
The local derby.
Yeah, but me and Dom aren't like that at all. We always both just give the same answer to everybody, of the fact that we're both at a level where we can beat each other, and that's all that really matters now. Loads of people love to have conversations, don't they? Who's better out of this person and this person? But it
depends
doesn't,
on the day.
It doesn't mean anything. I'm at a level with my game where I believe I can beat anyone in the world, so that, to me, that then doesn't matter than who I'm better than. Oh wow! How's the cue ball not gone in?
We didn't seem to hit. It looked like he hit a bit with a bit of side off that break, Brian. When he clattered into the pack, he didn't.
It weren't the cleanest of connections,
No, it wasn't.
was it? Now, can he pop the one that he's closest to? The way he's playing, the way he's coming to the table tells us that he can. There are problems with these yellows. Straight away come down the table. I think there could be value in potting the one that's to the left of the 8 ball, playing a little cannon into the 8. He's trying to flick the red. I just think by moving the red, you'd only ever move it into a position that's awkward again at that time.
It's hard with the angle he had there to get enough side, but because the cushion's not going to bite and take it. It's just going to sort of come back straight. Can he play it off? The yellow very thin. Okay.
Oh, I think he's played that. He's played to screw in. Yeah, he's played to screw
he
into
has.
the 8
That's a
ball,
great
make
shot.
the plant. Yeah.
Didn't see it.
Brilliant vision.
I was too busy looking at, is he going to just dribble it off?
Yeah, I weren't 100% sure, but yeah, no, that's a great shot from Buzzo. He's, pushed the ball up to the rail, but sort of 2 good positional shots needed here. Better to be short than long here. Yeah, see, has he just gone too far? No, overhead tells us that we're dead straight on this. He can just top through to the left hand rail, and this could be a really good finish from Brian. Just under it a little bit, isn't he? But
yeah, he'd like to be a little bit straight, so he just played with top spin and get down for the black. Might have to play with a bit of left hand side now as well.
Bit of left. Throws the cue ball down the table. Oh yeah, I was going to say I'd be a little bit disgusted if that ball went in, but
yes, he has missed that, and Dom Cooney now has the opportunity.
Dom calls his extension,
and rightly so. Just want to make sure he played his first shot and get bang in position.
Yeah.
So it's a dribble into the middle. Would you agree with that, Luke?
I think I personally actually pot the one to the top right. I just, with how I play, I back my cue in a lot, and I think I'd have been tempted.
But I'd be confident getting anywhere down sort of below those 2 reds.
Yeah. You've still got to just pop the balls, I suppose, haven't you? But I just quite liked that shot, bang it into the top.
That looks short.
He's playing a loss of turn. That's what his plan was there.
Oh, he wanted to be dead straight on it. Played a loss of turn. Cue ball behind the other red.
Yeah.
See,
or the skill shot.
I'd be looking to kill the game. I just would.
Dom does do this a lot.
Because you played a loss of turn, Halcrow hits the black and leaves the white at the bottom of the table.
Oh
my God. Well. He's left the gap, surely.
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
See, this is the thing with this loss of turn. The match was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Is he trying to run the clock down?
I don't think it's that. I think it's just the way that if I speak to Dom about that, he would say he feels the only way he could lose the frame was by going for the clearance, but obviously
look at that,
proven wrong. But well, you sort of feel it's on this pot, but it's tricky queuing right out the jaws with them buzzers going down. That's a good shot.
That is a good shot. Not up. I wouldn't have particularly liked that. Queuing across the sort of rubber back of the pocket.
Yeah, sort of an awkward little shot here because he's.
Can he get on the bad one at the bottom on this
shot? But it's sort of like an in-between shot where you can't stun it too much and you got to decel a little bit. Yeah. That's
a brilliant shot. Absolutely world-class shot, that. Especially when you have 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, now there's no running the clock down now. It's just pot your balls. Well,
this is for the match.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
I thought
this into left centre.
we got to feel a little bit for Brian here, but it's going to be Dom Cooney now with his simple 8-ball, and this for a place in the last 16. Down it goes, and Dom Cooney beats Brian Halcrow 7 frames to 4. He's been pretty good value for this. Dom Cooney plays some excellent shots. Brian a little bit unlucky, probably suffered a bit on the break, but it's Cooney that goes through.